Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into TNA Emergence from August the 30th, 2024. An okay TNA pay-per-view for the most part. Now, it wouldn't be a TNA pay-per-view if there were not any bad booking decisions, and there were some bad booking decisions on this show. But overall, the show was pretty decent. So we're going to go over the pre-show really quick, and then after that we're going to get into the main card. So Frankie Kazarian, he defeats Kushida. For whatever reason, they had a match because Frankie Kazarian attacked Kushida when he was in the Ultimate X qualifier triple threat involving him, Kushida, and Hammerstone. So there's that. Then we had the PCO Step the Lander Matt Cardona bullshit. So PCO's mystery opponent ended up being Shira, so that's fine. Who cares? PCO, he retained, so cool, I guess. But I really don't give a shit. Moving on to the main show. First match of the night, Ultimate X, featuring Mike Bailey, Laredo Kid, Hammerstone, NXT's Riley Osborne, Zachary Wentz, and Jason Hotch. Match was solid. Really good spots here by everybody. So basically, my boy, Zachary Wentz, unbeknownst to everybody, he won the match. I thought that Mike Bailey was going to retain. I'm glad he didn't. But this makes perfect sense. Post-match, Zachary Wentz embraces Trey Miguel. So I believe the reason why this decision was made was they're probably going to have a lengthy feud between Wes Lee and Zachary Wentz. And so now they have something to fight over. And so hopefully at NXT No Mercy, hopefully Zachary Wentz goes over. That pisses off Wes Lee. And maybe at Victory Road, which is their next pay-per-view, it'll be Wes Lee versus Zachary Wentz Part 2. That's when Wes Lee gets his win back and he becomes the new X Division Championship. And then maybe you can do a final match, maybe at Halloween Havoc, where Zachary Wentz wins it back. So I think that's what they could be going with all this. But that was a very smart booking decision. So kudos to TNA for doing that. Moving on. So Josh Alexander, he is backstage with Gia Miller. He's being interviewed. Josh Alexander says that the Iron Man match is his match. Josh Alexander said that he's back in the main event and he's not leaving. He said that Nic Nemeth doesn't even have what it takes. He also said that the title belongs to him and Nic Nemeth will be lucky to get out alive. Okay, that's fine. Really believable promo by Josh Alexander. So it makes sense. Moving on, a match that I did not care about. Eric Young versus Steve Maclin. Steve Maclin defeats Eric Young via a roll-up. Post-match, Eric Young looked like he was going to come to blows with Steve Maclin, but the two of them shake hands and they actually, do it. It actually comes to fruition. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This is dumb. Steve Maclin is okay, but he's mid at best. Again, he should be in the X Division title picture so he can have something to do. And get Eric Young the fuck off my television. I'm tired of him. Moving on. So Gia Miller, she interviewed Nic Nemeth. He vowed to beat Josh Alexander at his own game. Nic Nemeth said that he would come out on top. Okay, that's fine. Cool stuff. 6 knockout tag match. Jordynne Grace featuring Spitfire, which is Jody Threat and Denny Luna, versus Ash by Elegance and Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich. So in the match, Alicia Edwards got injured. I wasn't paying attention, but she did get injured in the match, and she was out of it. So Jody Threat got the win for the team, for her team. So it seems like they're probably going to feud Ash by Elegance with Jody Threat. That's fine, but then again, what do you do with Jordynne Grace going forward? And apparently Jordynne Grace is going to continue to have an open challenge for the Knockouts Championship. That has grown quite tiresome. Unless we get somebody like a Xia Lee or Lacey Evans or Mandy Rose, again, TNA has to begin to rebuild that Knockouts division. They don't have too much longer with Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace's contract is up with TNA in January, and then she's off to NXT. So TNA better get their shit together and begin to start building that Knockouts division. If not, I don't know what to say, because it's not good. It's just not good. And Jordynne Grace's third knockout title reign has been the weakest. It's been extremely weak. Her second title reign was better, and it's just sad that TNA just doesn't have anybody for Jordynne Grace to work with. That's believable. I mean, you could do her and Masha Slamovich, her and Killer Kelly, whenever Killer Kelly comes back from filming her horror flick that she's in. So those are 2 knockouts you can feud her with. Outside of that, everyone else is just mid on that roster. So, that's what it is. Step Delander and PCO, they had a segment backstage. Step Delander said that she would see Matt Cardona on Thursday on TNA Impact. Who gives a shit? Fuck this. It's stupid. Moving on. So, the ABC, which is Chris Bay and Ace Austin, they defeat First Class, which is AJ Francis and Casey Navarra. So that was great. It makes perfect sense. So I like Casey Navarra. I'm glad that he's with TNA. I am pissed off that he's with First Class. He really should be in that X Division title picture as a heel. And I'm not digging the pink hair that he has. He reminds me of Oral Mensa from NXT. He really does. Like, you can't even tell the guys apart. I'm serious. So in the end, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, they got the win via the fold. They hit it on KC for the 1, 2, 3. That's fine. It makes sense. Moving on, the 8-man... Well, actually, no. Before we move on, TNA's tag team division is stale as bread. I don't understand what they're doing with their tag division. They have no division. They need to rebuild that tag division. It's not good. You have the Rascals. You have Ace Austin, Chris Bay, ABC. You've got First Class, but you don't have anyone else. Now, what they might do with Eric Young and Steve Macklin, they might have them feud with the ABC, which I hope it doesn't happen, because that would be lame as shit, but that might be where they're going with this. So, it is what it is. Moving on. So, this leads us into the 8-man tag. Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardys versus the System, Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Johnny Dango Curtis or JDC. I was pissed because Eddie Edwards got the win. This was so stupid. The match itself was just your typical 8-man tag, nothing but spots. I'm pissed that the system won. The crowd made this match great. They were chanting "fuck the system," which was great. They were chanting when JDC got into the ring. They chanted "Summer Rae." The crowd really gave a lot of shit to the system, and I love it. So kudos to the Louisville, Kentucky crowd. You guys were awesome. Great stuff, man. Excellent stuff. Bad booking decision for TNA. TNA really fucked up on that one. I don't know why they had the system win. It made zero sense. There's no need for that. Why are they continuing to push the system? The system is not over. They fucking suck. I really do think that was a dumbass booking decision. I don't get it. I mean, you already had one guy who's pulling double duty for Emergence and for NXT No Mercy and Zachary Wentz. Why couldn't you have Joe Hendry and his team win? Because Joe Hendry is going to be pulling double duty this weekend against Ethan Page. So, I don't know. But TNA, from time to time, they make dumbass decisions. Main event of the evening. 60-minute Iron Man match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Josh Alexander versus Nic Nemeth. This match was slow. So they wrestled for 11 minutes straight. So Nic Nemeth got the first fall after 11 minutes, after a roll-up. And the 25-minute mark, Nic Nemeth got his second win by giving Josh Alexander the danger zone. So 44 minutes in, Josh Alexander, he gets his first fall by hitting Nic Nemeth with a foreign object. We don't see what it is. And he hits the C4 spike to get his first win. So it's now 2-1. And then immediately after, just a minute later, on the 45-minute mark, Josh Alexander ties it with a second C4 spike. There was also a table spot in this. This was maybe like when they had, I think, 8 minutes left to go, I believe. And it came down to the final 5 minutes. So Josh Alexander, he hit Nic Nemeth's danger zone. Nic Nemeth kicked out. So Nic Nemeth ended up winning with the danger zone into the C4 spike for the 1-2-3. He wins 3-1. And Josh Alexander was trying to get up with maybe, I think, 10 minutes left. My bad. 10 seconds left to spare, but to no avail. He collapsed. And Nic Nemeth, he retains the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, which is great. Excellent stuff. So, JBL from WWE, he comes out to a really good reaction. Tom Hannafin, he was shocked. Same thing with Matthew Raywall, a.k.a. Aiden English. Both of them were shocked. So the crowd was shocked. And he came out looking like The Undertaker with his long trench coat and cowboy hat. And he just whispered something into Nic Nemeth's ear, and that was it. So Nic Nemeth, he celebrated. This is interesting because him and Nic Nemeth have been together in AAA, and they've done some stuff on GCW. So this is interesting to see where it goes. Josh Alexander more than likely will feud with Joe Hendry going forward. I do think that Josh Alexander will probably get involved at NXT No Mercy and cost Joe Hendry the NXT title, so that way they can continue their feud. And there's that. Nic Nemeth, who's his Bound for Glory opponent going to be? I have no idea. I'm guessing at Victory Road you could do a triple threat match: Nic Nemeth, Moose, and Steve Macklin, so that way he can get that match out the way and be done with it. Nic Nemeth's challenge for Bound for Glory should be an open challenge. That's where we see Velveteen Dream show up, and maybe we get Velveteen Dream being the face of TNA, and that causes Nic Nemeth to turn heel or something like that. I don't know, but Emergence overall was okay, minus that dumbass booking decision involving the system. That was lame as fuck. But all in all, Emergence was okay for the most part. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.